Folks, welcome into sportsbookreview.com. It's Wednesday, and it's time to talk some Major League Baseball, action-packed card. And finally today, we have a live game going on right now between the White Sox and the Minnesota Twins. I'm Donnie Seymour. He's Kyle Purviance, Jason Radowitz, along with Chelsa Messinger. We are the sportsbookreview.com Major League Baseball team. So let's get into it. Last night, a nice little bounce back on the value menu card for me, picking up dubs on the Tigers and the Rangers, going bottom basement shopping and coming up winners. I tell you, almost had a complete sweep on those because I did also put out the team total over for the Atlanta Braves. Nito's home run didn't put a smile on my face, but the guy just below me right there certainly put a smile on his face with the New York Mets with yet another victory. Let's get right into it today, guys, and have some fun with this. We do have, as I said, a live baseball game currently right now. Giolito's on the mound versus Shoemaker. 1-1 right now in the top of the fifth inning. 2 men on with 2 outs for Shoemaker being the pitcher, obviously, and the White Sox up at the plate. Any thoughts on this one, Kyle, entering into this game now?
Well, as I look at it, I realize the Minnesota Twins have, the third or fourth worst bullpen in baseball. They're absolute cans in that rotation. So I'm just sitting here waiting for that White Sox total to go to 1.5 or maybe get a 2 and then just pop the over on that because that Twins bullpen stinks. So I'm just expecting a late run by the White Sox here, and I'm going to do the Donnie RightSide and wait it out till it gets low enough where it's a free roll, 1.5 or 2, and rock and roll.
Yeah, well, interesting one last night also, Jason. I did end up taking a Philadelphia Phillies team total over, but a total over. 5, it was at plus 100 yesterday as they entered into the 8th inning. Obviously, you saw those 2 bullpens completely implode there, specifically the Marlins. So there is some value to go on, but looking at the total in this game, it's 1-1 in the top of the 5th inning. Looking at FanDuel right now, the live over is 6.5, but also if we take a look at the splits, White Sox minus 114, Minnesota Twins minus 110. Did you have any pregame thoughts on this one or any thoughts as this game is about midway now?
Yeah, I thought the Twins had the better lineup going through this game, but it's so hard, 1, to back Shoemaker, and 2, to back just this Twins team in general. So I did like the White Sox in the first 5, and it looks like it's 1-1 now, of course, and Mercedes up at the plate, which could be interesting if he can do some damage here. But yeah, it was this is a game that I stayed away from. I didn't really like either side. Thought there were other games that were better on this card.
Yeah, you could jump it right now. Obviously, a big base hit here would switch it up because you are getting minus 118 here for the Chicago White Sox as we head towards the backstretch of this game. 3 home runs last night by Miguel Sano, Chelsa. Any pregame looks that you're cheering for in this one or anything that's live in-game that makes some sense for you between the Twins and the White Sox here?
Well, I didn't realize it was an early game because I would have put in White Sox first 5 just because they're the hottest first 5 team in baseball. But I'm kind of glad I didn't because I would be sweating that one out right now. I do think White Sox live, I see them at minus 129. Maybe if you get it at a better price somewhere else, maybe that's a solid play just because, as we've mentioned, this Twins bullpen has been absolutely atrocious. Bottom 4 in the league in ERA. And another thing, if you're not watching these games live, I don't think you should bet on them. And I'm not. I'm watching here by Game Tracker, and that is not a smart way to make bets. So no bets for me on this one because who knows how much this is behind.
I got to say,
Chelsea's
very good on that, right? That looks like we're going to have a good time, right? That looks like a party waiting to happen. I love it.
Are you talking about my hair?
Yes, I love it. It looks like we're going to go have a good time. I love it.
I mean, that's me every day. They say blondes have more fun? So obviously.
They typically do, but also, Chelsea, pro move would have been it's 1-1 right now. The game opened up at 9. You should have just came on and said, I fired on the under, just like I always do, sitting in good position at this spot. And looks like they do get out of the inning, so Chelsea's under for the game. I'll give you credit that you did bet the under in this one. Looking really good right now as we get into it. Big moment here. 86,000 subscribers have hit the subscribe button right here on our YouTube channel at sportsbookreview.com. Thank you guys for doing that. Already 100 people live watching this show, so the support for the show, fantastic stuff. We have a lot of fun talking Major League Baseball and getting after it, which we are going to do now. Big card set up, but let's get to some of the marquee matchups here. And that one starts 9:53, 9:54, 6:40 Eastern time start. Gausman on the mound versus Miley. Slight favorite here, depending on where you're shopping at. Offshore San Francisco, minus 111 at Pinnacle. But then if we look at some of the outlets here, 120s, 115. So roughly a pick 'em across the board. 8 as a total here. But also depending on where you're shopping at, you can still find some 8.5s. Taking a look here, we'll start with you first, Kyle. Gausman versus Miley. Thoughts here on San Francisco and Cincinnati?
Well, there's no doubt here that the Reds lineup certainly profiles better against Gausman. The problem is Gausman is. Oh yeah. Did I already get it? There we go. Already starting early. But Gausman's much better than Miley, and I actually kind of like a little sprinkle on this Giants first 5. I think Gausman can shut him down. Now, I will say this, against the Reds, he hasn't been great in his last 5 starts when you just sort of look at the numbers, but he's been red hot this year. He's pitching well. I like the Giants in this one, first 5 minus 0.5 at plus 115. We're getting a good plus money there. I think Gausman can shut down the lineup just enough. And for the Giants, of course, we know we like the lefties, so we like it when there's a righty on the mound. But there's some righties too. Longoria has 8 hits in his career off Miley, 3 home runs. Ruff should be all right. Slater, Posey, we just talked about Longoria. So I like some of the Giants' bats. I'm going to do a slight sprinkle here, maybe a value menu play here on the Giants' first 5 plus 115, minus 0.5. And I sort of like that team total. It's steamed up now. Over 3.5 is minus 145, but I like that Giants team total. Don't forget that Reds bullpen absolutely stinks. So if they don't have a lot of runs early, you can count on them late against that Reds bullpen. So a little sprinkle on that Giants team total and the first 5 minus 0.5.
Looks like Posey expect to be back tonight. Both of these lineups look good, but also both of these pitchers look good as well. Jason, come to you with some information on this game between the Giants and the Reds. How are we looking at this one?
Miley pitched against the Reds earlier this season, or against the Giants earlier in the season. 5 innings, no runs, looked pretty good in that start. Of course, coming off his worst start of the season against the Rockies. I wish the Rockies would have done that last night for us, but it was a really poor outing from Miley. But before that, he was consistent and really good. But again, like you guys said, the Giants have really looked good in the first 5. They've looked pretty good as a team this year, and their pitching has been really good. And Gausman's been one of those guys that has been just as consistent as well. So this is a tough one. I think the under 4.5 in the first 5 is a good look here. And I do agree that the Giants might score, 1 or 2 runs and get that, 2-0 win in the first 5. But I wouldn't touch the Reds in the full game, of course, with that bullpen.
Take a look here as the road team being the San Francisco Giants. Usually you try to maybe circle in on a pitcher like Kevin Gausman and say, well, how are his splits from home and away? He's done pretty well on the road, 1.07 ERA. The xFIP is a little bit higher, 3.52, but still very good here, just looking from an away vantage point. And I do have to preface this comment. If you like pitchers bat and you say it's part of the strategy, watch Kevin Gausman tonight. The over-under on him actually swinging is probably a half at this point. And I swear he comes up to the plate and tells the umpire, it's okay. If it's 3 feet outside, ring me up. I'm more than happy to go back to the dugout here. Chelsa, talk to us in this game tonight, Giants and the Cincinnati Reds.
Well, that's actually not too bad of a play, because we've seen pitchers get hurt batting, and that's the absolute worst. We've seen, who was it for the Diamondbacks, Zach Gallen, that hurt his hand, I think, bunting in spring training or something like that. So not a bad move to just stand there and not swing. So I appreciate the smart move from Gausman there. I'll be looking at a first 5 under in this one. The Giants, one of the hottest first 5 under teams in baseball. I love unders. 15, 23, and 2 on the season with 23 games to the under in the first 5. I think Wade Miley, if he can continue being, pretty decent, because to have a first 5, you just need both guys to be pretty solid, or one guy to be lights out and the other guy just not to have a blow up. So I think that's definitely where I'm leaning on this one. I think both these pitchers have been pretty solid. Gausman has good strikeout numbers. Some of these Reds batters are a little bit free swinging. I do like them in the first 5, the Giants. I don't know if they can complete the sweep here. It is a little bit tough to do. But, yeah, I'll be looking at a first 5 under.
Yeah, good baseball team, the Giants. I mean, certainly playing the game the right way. Would like them to get a little bit more hits when I take them, but that's another story at this point. And by the way, whatever happened to the pitchers being the best athletes on the team? Now we're worried of them swinging the bat and getting hurt. They're trying to bunt. When I was in grade school, the pitcher was the best athlete on the field every single time. How did they turn into the worst athlete? Chelsea, how do we get pitchers that were the best that turn into the worst athletes?
Have you not been watching the one-man phenomenon that's Shohei Ohtani? I mean, single-handedly, he is making that remark absolutely bogus because he is an absolute athlete. Not only doing it as a pitcher, which mentally takes a lot of skill to go out there and mentally have the grind of a pitcher and also have the mental grind as a batter. I think a lot of people don't talk about how hard that is to mentally compartmentalize doing both things in the span of one game. So I think that's just the way the world is going, is most people specialize because everybody is so good at their jobs. It's the same thing as why we have starting pitchers and relievers. These starters aren't going shorter because they're not as good. It's because the relievers are so good at their one inning. So I think that's where it comes from.
Used to be a commercial here in Major League Baseball with Tom Glavine and Greg and Maddox used to come on and say, chicks dig the long ball. So they're always working, on their craft. Come on, pitchers. Chicks dig the long ball. Swing the back, Ausman, tonight. And watch this. Go. He will hit a home run tonight, and we'll see what happens in this one. Let's keep it moving. 969, 970. Richards and Stripling. That is Boston and Toronto. Weather alert in Dunedin. Wind blowing in at 20 miles an hour from left field. So that should help the pitchers in this. And here we go. 10.5 is a total. Looking now, 9.5 as a total. Slight favorite here between 124 and 134 towards Toronto. Talk to me on this one, Kyle.
I like the underdog in this one. I like the Red Sox money line plus 105 in the first 5. Look, Richards, I'm not the biggest Richards fan in the world, right? And we've had our fun at his expense on the show, but he's been much, much better. And he's actually, his last 3 starts, 18 innings pitched, scoring in the 35s and 40s for me. In fantasy has been nice. He's a nice price, by the way, today on DraftKings if you're playing DFS. 7,500 because I really don't like the Toronto lineup all that much outside of Guerrero and maybe Biggio, who's not the scariest bat. I like Boston's lineup more. I'm looking at advantages here in the middle, from the top to the middle of the lineup here. 45, 65, 71, 57, and 21%. I think that Richards is better than Stripling. Stripling's done. I don't have a whole lot of love here for Ross Stripling in terms of his ability to get Boston out. That win's going to help him some, but I'll take that plus 105 money line in the first 5. I think that makes a ton of sense for Boston today.
Jason, looking at this, Garrett Richards going to go on the road. Got a pretty good number here so far. Average batters, 234, whip, 1.14. Batting average of balls in play, 286. Stranding 84% of his runners. ERA, 248. And an xFIP of 316. Decent starts here on the road for Garrett Richards. Talk to me on this game.
Yeah, I'm with Kyle here. I like the Red Sox in the first 5 as well on the money line. I got it at minus 105. It's now gone up to plus 105, which is fine. It's it looks like the public is going to be on the Bue Jays, and that's because the Bue Jays have been really hot recently, and the Red Sox got shut out yesterday, of course. But Richards has been a lot better against righties. The Bue Jays lineup is going to have at least 6 righties in that lineup, and Stripling really just hasn't been good in general. I think he's allowed 2 runs or more in every start this season against righties. 445 weighted OBA, an ISO of 290. Guys like JD Martinez, who doesn't have a hit against Stripling yet in his career, could be in for a big day as well, especially with any of those righties in that lineup, and even the lefties can do well against Stripling, who's also a righty, and gives good matchups to those lefties like Devers and Verdugo. So again, Red Sox first 5 money line. It's an official play for me.
It makes sense here because when you take a look at Stripling, you are right. Right-handers, which he's faced 69 of them on the season this year, have done some damage against him. Looking at this game down in Dunedin, Chelsa, any thoughts between these two, Boston and Toronto?
I'm trying to find what the first 5 line is for runs in the first 5, because the first 5 over might be the play. If you think both of these
5.
pitchers,
I'm looking at 5. Yeah.
I kind of like that because at least you get a push 3-2. I'll do a first 5 over with both these pitchers. Garrett Richards has been pretty solid, except against the Blue Jays. He had a bad one against the Blue Jays already this season. And then Ross Stripling, I just can't depend on him, especially against this Red Sox offense that has been really solid in the first 5 innings, one of the best first 5 teams in baseball. I think if I leaned away in the first 5, it would be towards the Red Sox, especially with plus money, because if you look at Garrett Richards, he's recorded a win in 3 of his last 4 starts, which wins aren't the most important thing for pitchers when it comes to stats, but it is when it comes to betting, and when it comes to betting in the first 5, because that means your team is ahead after this pitch or while this pitcher is still in the game. So I would be looking at the Red Sox in the first 5, but also a first 5 over. I think some of these offenses can get it going. The Red Sox alone are capable of scoring that.
All right, keep it moving here. 975, 976. Houston and Oakland, Greinke and Montas. And I do look at my numbers. I do have a circled play here, possibility for the Houston Astros team total once again here going up against Montas. Hitting right-handers, that's exactly what the Houston Astros do. So I'm going to start with you, Kyle, in this game here tonight. Out in Oakland, Greinke, Montas, 116 favorite, 115 favorite, depending on your shopping, and 8.5 as a total in this one between the Astros and the Oakland Athletics.
Well, you've got the Astros circled, and I've got the Ace circled because earlier today I was getting that team total over 3.5 at minus 135. Greinke has struggled against this lineup, in particular Ramon Laureano, 8 of 13 lifetime with 3 home runs, 2 doubles, and a triple. So my boy Art in the chat box always likes those home run props. My boy today is Ramon Laureano. I think he goes yard today. I actually like the A's just a little bit more. I know Montas can be had, and Houston's certainly capable of hitting. This game feels like an over to me. It's a little bit colder in Oakland. The wind's blowing out, but of course it's always blowing out in the Bay Area. We've talked about that ad nauseum on this show. But now I'm looking at an A's team total of over 4 at minus 105. So even if they get 4, you get the push. I like that. I like the A's team total in this one. I think both teams can score. Lean the over here. I'm going to give a slight lean to those Oakland A's.
If we take a look at the game tonight out in the Coliseum, Jason, looking at Frankie Montas at home this year, batting average 294, whip 1.5, batting average of balls in play 342, 675 ERA, and a 414 xFIP, which is obviously better than the ERA here. But I do think Houston can get some runs here tonight. Obviously, we know it's a pitcher's ballpark. What's your angle tonight between these two?
Yeah, I agree with both of you guys. I think the over is the play in this game. But I see it's at 8.5 right now. It's a good look there. I think Greinke. But I mean, really, Montas and Greinke have both had their struggles this year, and the lineups both have some really good bats in there as well. So I do agree with the over. I would lean towards the Astros in the first 5, but I can see both teams allowing plenty of runs in this one.
I like the Astros a little bit more in this game. Chelsea, talk to me on this out in the Oakland Coliseum tonight between these two.
Yeah, I had the Astros in the first 5 last night. I think some of us did. I think I'll be on that again, even though Greinke is one of those pitchers that I never feel comfortable betting on him. Sure. He's either going to, have a great night where he strikes out a bunch, or he'll give up, 5 runs and not even bat an eye about it. That's the worst, is when pitchers don't look like they care. The old Jay Cutler look to some of these guys. But I'll be on the Astros in the first 5. Once again, if you look at some of these numbers, the Astros, one of the best first 5 teams in baseball, 22-12-7 with 22 games, winning with a profit of $413 for $100 better, especially on the road, 9-3-5 on the road in the first 5 money line. So I will be taking the Astros on the money line in the first 5.
There we go. Stros it is for tonight, folks. Let's get to some value menu wagers. Firing on fast food. We were eating good at McDonald's, eating good in the neighborhood. Hey, we can maybe even include Applebee's on this, Chipotle. It doesn't matter. As long as it picks up enough for you to cover your lunch bill. Let's see if we can get into it today. Kyle, I'm going to start with you first here. Firing on fast food. Where's that value at? Where is it at, Kyle?
Well, I'm going to start with everyone's favorite, the Nerfy, and I like it in that Baltimore-Tampa Bay game. Means and Yarbrough, those two lefties, should be able to get through those two dominant lineups in the first inning relatively easily. So I'll take the no runs first inning, Baltimore, Tampa Bay. I mentioned the home run prod. I like Ramon Laureano. I also like Aaron Judge tonight. I think Aaron Judge can get it done tonight. He's got a nice little split here once I get to the number here, a nice little split against Yang, 73% advantage, hasn't homered in a couple of games. I think he can go yard as well tonight. And I got a light little sprinkle on that Giants first 5 at plus money as well.
There you go. Keep it moving here, Jason. What are you firing on? Where's that value tonight on your card?
Yeah, Corbin Burns on the mound for the Brewers. It's second start since that COVID. But he was asymptomatic and really feels fine up to this point. He'll have a bigger pitch count compared to his last game where he pitched just 78 pitches. Should be able to go, a strong, normal outing. And his over-under for strikeouts sitting at 8.5 at plus money, plus 120 on FanDuel just 30 minutes ago. Yeah, he's got 9 strikeouts in every single start this season or more. And going up against the Royals, a lineup where 6 of those guys basically strike out 20% of the time or more against righties to begin with. That number is slightly down because he is, in Kansas City. So it's an AL team, not an NL team. So there's no pitcher. But still, 8.5 for Corbin Burns, who's striking out over 45% of batters and over 55% of righties. I love that look for Burns, over 8.5 strikeouts in this game.
There you go. K-props included here. Where's that value out tonight, Chelsa, on this card for you?
Well, I'm looking for some of these strikeout props because a lot of times they don't post them till after our show. Because I would almost like a John Means strikeout prop. I know it's a little bit square, but this Tampa Bay Rays team, I've said it plenty of times, they've been a cash cow for strikeout props. And I know that their offense is really getting going run-wise. I think they've had like 44 runs over their past 5 games, something crazy like that. But they're still striking out a ton. And John Means has one of the filthiest changeups in all of baseball. I think he has the top-rated changeup according to Fangraphs. So I'm not sure what the line would be on John Means strikeout prop, but I think it would be worth a look if it's not, over 10 or something crazy like that.
Chelsea, just Kyle makes his numbers up. You can make them up whatever you want. We'll go 5.5.
It's 7.5. It's 7.5.
5.5 is not going to be out there.
But I sound convincing when I do it, right? Like, you got to be real convincing when you make up the numbers. It's at
7.5 right now. 7.5.
7.5. I kind of like that.
There you go. John Means business out here. 2 value plays for me. I'm going to keep on dipping into this. They've been so kind to me over the past few days, and that's the Rangers. Team total 3.5. Another light juice number, -105, going up against Kluber tonight. Kluber on the road this year, 316 batting average against him, 375 balls in play, and also 5.21 ERA and a 4.73 xFIP. 4 runs for the Rangers at home. Probably going to get a full 9 at-bats tonight. I'm going to dip into that as well. And we just talked about a game out in the Oakland Coliseum. I also like the Astros team total at 4, listed at 115 earlier through FanDuel. So 3.5 and 4. I'll go with those 2 as my value plays of the night. But it's time to get to the best bets and bankers here. And I'm going to go ahead, Kyle, and start with you first once again. Bring the heat. What's the best on the card here?
Well, I'm going to try to give you the real number here. It's A's team total over 4 now, -105 offshore, where the classy guys go offshore. That's right. And playing my links golf with my hat on, baby. No, I like the A's team total over 4. I think they get it done against Greinke. And I also, for my second one today, I like that Red Sox first 5 +105 on the money line. I think they get it done in the first 5 tonight as well.
What do we got, Jason? What do we got tonight? What's the best of it?
Yeah, so the first bet will be the under 4.5 in the first 5 at -120 for the Rays and Orioles. Again, we just spoke about it. Means and Yarbrough on the mound. Means, he's been terrific, and Yarbrough has some really good stats against this Orioles lineup and should be able to hold them down as well. So under 4.5 in the first 5 at -120 there. I agree with Kyle. I'm on the Red Sox in the first 5 on the money line. Already talked about that one, so I don't need to go further on there. Also, the Brewers -0.5 in the first 5.
Yes.
Corbin Burns against Brad Keller. And yeah, the Brewers, they've struggled to score runs with the Rays pitchers on the mound. Just ask Woodruff. Feel the pain. But look, it's Brad Keller. He's allowed 2 runs in every start but 1. In the other start, he allowed 1 run. 1 run might be enough for Burns in this game against the Royals. So I do think the Brewers will score some runs. Yelich is back in the lineup. That's huge. I know he went 0 for last night, but just having his presence in the lineup will help other hitters in the lineup as well. So again, Brewers -0.5 in the first 5 at -120, and I'll be putting a little money on Burns at +120 over 8.5 on the strikeouts in that game as well.
There you go, Chelsea. What's the best of it on the card tonight? Where are we going?
Yeah, I'll be taking a first 5 under in this Indians and Angels game. If you look at both of these starters, both can go deep in games if they, stay healthy, because Savali has been good at going deep in games. He's gone at least 5 innings in all of his starts, which means he is not giving up the big blow-up inning where he's exited in the 3rd inning, which is never good for first 5 unders. And then you've got Shohei Ohtani coming off his best start of the season and probably one of his better ones in his career, going against the Astros in a pitcher's duel, which is another thing. I think when you have 2 pitchers that are both dealing, they kind of feed off each other, and it's quick. They get into a rhythm, and you don't have to wait long in the dugout. So I think both these pitchers are capable of that. Both these teams are bottom 10 in on-base percentage. So not only are they not swinging the ball or swinging the bat extremely well, they're not getting on base a whole lot, not taking a whole lot of walks. We know that about the Indians. The Angels have been better as of late, but I think Savali has decent stuff. He has a whip close to 1. And like I said, he is fully capable of going deep in these games. And the last bad one he had, he gave up most of his runs in the 6th. I'll be taking the first 5 under, and I also like the Angels in the first 5.
There you go. And I'm going to
have. Is that elite? So is Rob Manfred going to have to call Chelsa now after betting the Angels here? I'm very confused. I don't know what to do here.
Inside.
All right. My husband's in AAA. So, and if he had any factor, on some of these bets, I would not be on the show. I would be on an island somewhere.
Oh, damn it.
That's the thing. I think you'd be surprised at how many baseball players don't know about baseball betting, because my husband tries to give me some plays and sometimes they're not even close to winners. So
she did not say that. Her husband's name is John Johnson. That's his name. Look him up.
Any coincidence though that Mike Trout gets injured and Jake gets signed? I mean, it's
what's going on here?
I mean, he's basically taking over for Pujols, and star power. Somebody had to fill the huge shoes. No, not even close. My husband is
absolutely
trying to make a living for his family.
Yeah, it's all about the ticket sales, and that's a great signing there for us. The best bet banker for me. I'm going to go side with Jason on this one here. I really like the Milwaukee team total over 4. Oh my goodness, it stinks. Have you guys seen me going night after night on the actual Rangers plays here? Oh, that team, it doesn't matter if the team stinks. It matters more about what the pitcher is going up against him. Keller's been brutal this year, specifically at home, striking out only 16% of the batters he's faced, a 323 batting average of balls in play 377, an ERA at home at 9.2, and an xFIP close to 5. Yeah, we're getting at least 4 runs here in this game through FanDuel. I have the Milwaukee team total over 4 at -118. Here's the tough part about this game tonight. It might be the worst weather conditions on the card rain-wise, so this could be extra painful if this game is in the 6th or 7th inning and it's 6-1 and they go, you know what, guys? Game over, you get out of here, because you know what that means. Nothing is actually going to cash in if you have it that way. So keep an eye on this one. I do like this game. It's certainly my favorite game on the card. Milwaukee team total over 4, but a tough weather night here that hopefully we can be able to get through that. Let's shake it up right now and get through the rest of the card here. The odds, lightning round. Bring on the thunder. Bring on the cracking of the lightning, and let's head through it here, get through it as fast as we can. 4:10, got another game in the afternoon today, 9:51, 9:52. Chichi Gonzalez, fresh off a Cy Young effort last time out, going against Musgrove, 7.5. Kyle, talk to me on this one, because I know you're not taking money line San Diego here, 275.
No, hell no, you can't do it. And the only way you even come close to getting any value is -0.5 at -150. So it's hard to find value here. Chichi Gonzalez absolutely broke my heart the last time. I love Chichi Rodriguez growing up so much, but no, it's hard to go against the Padres. The bet is the Padres. Maybe you want to make them a part of a parlay if you're taking some money line parlays and you want to add them as a favorite later on down the list to add some value there. But there's just not a ton of value betting on them. So the only way you could do it for me, -0.5 in the first 5 at -150. And that's still a little steamed for a first 5 bet, but that's the only way I'd go there.
Phillies dead in the water last night. Woke up against that Marlins bullpen. Rogers, the lefty on the mound, versus Eflin here for you, Jason. Looks like, -128s, -132s, over under here, sitting at 8. Any looks here, Miami and Philadelphia?
Yeah, Eflin scares me. He allows so many hits every
I thought you were going to say scares you so good, Jason.
No, it does not hurt so good. It hurts so bad.
Right?
It hurts so bad.
Yeah, I like the Marlins here. Rogers will be on the mound for the Marlins. He'll get enough strikeouts. He might walk some batters, but likely will get out of the damage. 84.4% of runners left on base. So I look at the Marlins in the first 5. I think the Marlins could score some runs. I think they're getting a couple guys back in their lineup. That should help a little bit as well against Eflin. They just got to score with runners in scoring position.
It's one thing hitting against the Dark Knight. It's another thing hitting against John Means. Battle of lefties on the mound in Baltimore tonight, Chelsea. Yarborough versus Means. Light favorite here, -112, and a total of 8.5 across the board. 2 lefties. Are we back in Baltimore in this game, or is that bats for the Rays all of a sudden viable again?
Right. Well, I think if anything can tame the Tampa Bay bats, it would be John Means. He's had such a consistent season this year, obviously throwing a no-hitter, which I guess everybody and their mom is doing these days. But I think I already said that I like the strikeout prop for John Means. And a lot of times, if you do like strikeout props for a pitcher, sometimes the first 5 under goes hand in hand with that one. So I think I'll play a first 5 under in that one as well. I think the Rays on the other side can get it done against this Orioles lineup as well. So first 5 under there is the play for me. It's a healthy number at 4. 3.5 is when I really start to scratch my head. But I'll take a first 5 under there.
7.5's offshore here between the Mets and the Braves. Peterson, the lefty, on the mound versus Morton. What are we looking at here, Kyle? Heavy favorite towards the Braves, anywhere between 185 to 196.
Yeah, and I got to be honest, I kind of like the Braves team total. I was considering it on my value menu against the lefty Peterson. I know Peterson's had these good moments where he looks really good, looks really bad. But the Braves against lefties, all those righties in the lineup, Acuna, you can go up and down the order. So I was looking at that Braves team total. I'm trying to get an update so I don't have a fake number, thanks to Donnie here. Over 4, minus 130. I'm looking for offshore at this classy offshore site here. And I sort of have a little sprinkle on that. I know Morton hasn't been great, but I trust him just a little bit more than Peterson, so I'll go Morton. I'll take the Braves overall, and I'll take that Braves team total over 4.
Scherzer, Arrieta here for you, Jason. Taking a look at a total here of 9 out in the windy city of Chicago. Looks like a favorite now of 151 to 160, depending on where you're shopping at. And that also is a line increase. Pinnacle opened up at minus 136. That now sits at minus 151. Are we buying Scherzer tonight?
Yeah, Scherzer's looked really good. Strikeouts are really high. In his last 12.1 innings pitched, 21 strikeouts, just 2 walks. Looks unreal right now. I don't see going against him at all in this matchup here. So I would look at the Nationals minus 0.5 in the first 5. Just have to get 1 run against Arrieta, who's been really good this year. It's going to be a little difficult, but should be able to get at least 1 against Arrieta here. So Nationals minus 0.5 in the first 5, but a game that maybe other options are a little bit better here.
Dead ball alert in this one for you, Chelsa. Pittsburgh and St. Louis. Cahill versus Flaherty. We're taking a look at a 7 to some juice at 7.5 across the board. Flaherty showing up at a minus 240 here in New Jersey, minus 220 offshore. And reason being, you look at Flaherty at home, 143 batting average against him, a whip of 0.5, batting average of balls in play, 182, an ERA under 1. Are we going under 7 here, Chelsa? Any looks?
Here's the thing. I like Trevor Cahill, but he is very capable of a blow up. If you've watched him over the years, he's continued to get jobs, but he can definitely give up quite a few runs. Never taken anybody minus 240. Even the run line, I think, is minus 120, but that's where I'll be headed. Cardinals on the run line here. It's just, I like this Cardinals team. One of the better teams in baseball, just complete game coming from their starting rotation, their bullpen solid. And I know it's a super square play, but that's all I see in this one. I think the 7 is a little bit too low for my liking with this Pirates squad starting Cahill.
Kluber on the mound for the Yankees tonight, coming in as a heavy favorite. Opened up at minus 170, Kyle, offshore, now sitting in that 165 range. Over-unders 9 across the board. Whether the roof closed, open, doesn't seem like it matters in this series. The Rangers are hitting. Yesterday, the Yankees were hitting. Any previews here for you, Texas and the New York Yankees here, Kyle?
Yeah, I got a slight lean here towards the Yankees, and I hate taking their team total pregame because I think you've messed me up, and we do all these Yankees live 1 run after the 5th inning, and so you've messed me up. So I look at it, and I'm like, shit, I want this Yankees team total right now, and then I go, oh, damn it, you can't do that. You just got to wait till you get the 1 in the 6th inning, so it's messed me up mentally, but the Yankees lineup profiles really, really well. We're talking advantages of 80, 5, 60. Oh yeah, drink every time I say profile. 80. We're gonna miss you over here. See, reminding everyone to drink. What the hell are we supposed to do around here? And remind me to ask Donnie. We've been getting some questions about the La Russa Mercedes beef and the thing. So maybe, we're already going long. We've already thrown the script out the door.
Don't worry, I'll go longer on that one.
Yeah. We'll get Donnie to sort it out for us in the chat box. But advantages of 73, 18, 21, 61, 85. Yankees should roll here. I do like the Yankees first 5, and I do like the Yankees team total as well. And the game sort of feels like an over to me. Kluber just hasn't been the same.
Yeah, we'll see if Kluber can back up. And, on this whole, Tony La Russa, I usually back the manager in this situation. I backed him with Tatis last year when Tatis blew off a 3-0 count when the manager said, hey, look, man, we ain't swinging at this pitch. He swung. So I said, all right, I'll give the manager the benefit of the doubt. Let me tell you something about Major League Baseball. I've already been on this soapbox so many times. If you throw a position player, you should be fined $5 million and be laughed at for the rest of the game. So Tony La Russa saying, we don't want to embarrass the other team. That game was already embarrassing because you had a position player throwing 45 miles an hour. Enough with that. I don't want to hear anything about it again. Let's get back to the business tonight. Valley and Ohtani for you, Jason. Hit me on this one. Ohtani, MVP favorite by a wide margin now out there on the West Coast.
Yeah, he's been really fun. Coming off, obviously, his best outing of the season. So I guess you would ride the momentum there. I agree with the under in this game in the first 5, of course. Savali's been really good as well. He's consistent, and both offenses really haven't been consistent. Obviously, no Mike Trout in the lineup. That's going to sting a little bit for the time being. So, yeah, I would look at the under in the first 5 here.
Rain, go away in this one, Chelsea. Milwaukee and Kansas City, Burns versus Keller, 7.5 across the board. Heavy favorite for those Brewers. I think we'll get a good pitching performance, but we're always worried about those Brewer bats. I'm not so worried tonight. How about you, Chelsea? What are you looking at in this game tonight out in Kansas City?
Full game under 7.5. I know you guys like a team total for the Brewers.
6-1.
But
Let's go.
Hey.
Right.
Wait, don't say, I don't ever take the
very
Brewers lineup.
specific
Hell
result,
no.
so all of us can win. But it's just hard because you would look at this matchup and think maybe a first 5 under, but when the total is 7.5, that means the first 5 under is going to be 3.5, and both these pitchers can have, good games, and you can still go over that total. Corbin Burns has given up some runs, most notably to the Marlins lineup, which is one of the worst lineups in baseball. So he's capable of giving up runs. He's going to strike out some guys, obviously. He's struck out 8 every game this season at least. So I think he's going to rack up the strikeouts. I think he's going to go at least pretty deep in the games. Brad Keller's been pretty solid as well. And I've said it many times, the Milwaukee bullpen continues to have some of the best stuff in the majors. We'll go a full game under of 7.5.
There you go. Arizona and the Dodgers. Doesn't even matter who's pitching for Arizona because I just saw a line pop up at -300 saying we don't give a damn who Arizona runs out there tonight. It's going to be a whitewashing. Last night, the Dodger bats came to play. I expect them to come to play again tonight. 305s, 320s out here, Kyle. 7.5s as a total showing up here, despite not knowing who officially is pitching for Arizona.
Exactly. So it's hard to get a number, but it is the Dodgers. It's the Dodgers against a righty. It's the Dodgers against a bad righty and a bad baseball team. So, I mean, honest to God, the Dodgers might hit the total 7.5 by themselves tonight. Obviously, there's not a ton of value there, and we don't have the exact numbers. But if you approach this game and you're betting this game, figure out a way to take the Dodgers and do it the most creative way you can to get some value.
Yeah, hit props.
Props, hit props. Betts and Turner, maybe their bases or hits props. -0.5 in the first inning. The run line probably won't even be juicy enough. It's Dodgers or bust in this one.
You got it. Detroit and Seattle. Schoolball's on the mound, which is always one of those locators for team total backers here. Last night, Detroit puts a 5 spot on the board. The Mariners don't show up. That's the matter. If you're going to back Schoolball, hey, at least we're going to get some runs. But Gilbert, another young guy on the mound for Seattle, did a little bit of a backtracking here, first-round draft pick. So some pedigree here, Jason, that we'd like to do research and see if it can help out. 166. Let's just look. Gilbert's on the mound tonight, a 166 here in New Jersey. That just tells you everything you need to know about Schoolball, Jason.
Yeah, Gilbert, obviously. Look, both these pitchers have potential moving forward. Both really young, talented guys. Obviously, Schoolball hasn't showed that this year, but he is talented. Obviously, this Mariners offense did not look good yesterday. I think that they'll rebound. They should be able to, put some runs up on the board. I think the over 8 is a good look here. Probably, get both bullpens pretty early in this game. It'd be hard to take the Mariners as a favorite here in the first place, but I do think they'll end up actually winning this game. So I guess the over 8 is probably the best bet here.
All right, clearing the bases out here on a Wednesday, 2-1 right now. Update here between the White Sox and the Twins with the White Sox at the plate here. It looks like it's the top of the 7th inning, 1 out and a 3-2 count to Yoan Moncada. But let's clear these out. Kyle, your best bet and banker today. Recap it, and let's get out of here.
Oh, yeah, I got to remember that thing. And we can all agree, right? Turnbull, the worst pitcher to ever throw a no-hitter. That has to be the worst pitcher now, right? He took the mantle.
We always say this, though, every night.
It's the new mantle.
Yeah,
Spencer Turnbull is so bad. He's a worst.
It's not bad.
Yes, bad enough.
You can't throw a no-hitter and be bad.
She's the pitcher expert, so I will defer to her, but that's got to be the worst pitcher to ever throw a no-hitter. I like that A's team total over 4 -105 and Red Sox first 5 money line plus 105. Those are my best bets for the day.
Jason, best bet today again. What was it, brother?
Under 4.5 in the first 5 for the Rays and Orioles. Red Sox first 5 on the money line. Brewers -0.5 in the first 5. And also Corbin Burns over 8.5 strikeouts.
Ooh. All right, Chelsea, rounding it out here, your best bets and bankers today again. For the people out there, what was it and what are they?
Yeah, first 5 under. I'm always taking unders. Angels and Indians, two offenses that are bottom 10 in on base percentage for the entire year, and also over the last 7 days, even though the Angels have come on a little bit stronger in their last few games. However, Aaron Savali has been pretty consistent for the Indians. He's gone at least 7 innings. I believe in 3 of his starts, 3 of his 5 starts this season, and gone 5 innings in all of his starts, which means he's a little less prone to the blow-ups, which you can't have when you take a first 5 under. And then the phenomenon of Shohei Ohtani on the mound for the Angels, a strikeout guy with nasty stuff, able to strand some runners, and I don't think he should have any issues with this Indians offense. First 5 under 4, I believe, for Indians Angels.
There you go. Best bet for me. Milwaukee team total over 4 minus 118 listed at FanDuel. That'll do it for Wednesday's show. Thank you guys for coming in here to the chat box, bringing that heat and having some fun with us talking Major League Baseball. I'm Donnie Seymour. He's Kyle Purviance, Jason Radowitz, and Chelsa Messinger. We are sportsbookreview.com, and this was your Wednesday Major League Baseball show. Good luck on those wagers.